We're here today with Maria Wilson. Maria has a profile on FindaGuitarTeacher.com. Welcome, Maria. Thanks for talking to us today.
Thank you.
It's great to be here with you today. Can you tell us first, where do you teach? What city and what state are you in?
I am in the Harrisburg, Hershey, Pennsylvania area.
And do students come to you, or do you travel to your students' homes?
They primarily come to me. Yeah, they come here to my studios. I have two studios here in my home.
And do you teach just in that one studio, or do you also go other places and teach?
I teach here in my home, and then I'm also on faculty at State Street Academy of Music in downtown Harrisburg. And then I'm also on faculty at Trez Music Education Center in Mechanicsburg, which is about 15 minutes away from here on the west shore of Harrisburg.
Well, that's great. So students who want to work with you, they have three different options of where they can go to see you.
Yes, it's pretty cool. Yep.
That's great. And do you teach both adults and children?
Yes, yep. I teach from like ages 6 to 100 plus, basically.
That sounds great. Can you tell us what are the styles of guitar that people most often want to learn? Can you describe a little bit like the guitar lesson climate there in Harrisburg? Do you find a lot of people looking for guitar lessons?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty popular here as far as that goes. There's a lot of other teachers as within the region.
Yeah.
I'm on the east shore of Harrisburg, which is Harrisburg, Hershey, Hummelstown, which is a really, really, really nice area. And so I'm one of like maybe 5 or 6 teachers in this side of the river. So it's pretty popular. But I'd say the most popular guitar style that people really want to learn is rock, and then
Yes.
finger style guitar.
And
So,
and you mentioned that there are a lot of teachers around. That can be a lot of competition, but it must also speak to the fact that there are a lot of people who want to learn guitar.
yes, and I specialize in fingerstyle and percussive guitar.
Yes.
I'm also classically trained, so I read music really well, and I'm one of the few teachers in the whole part of the state, and few women teachers who can read charts on a bat, like on the fly.
Yes.
So I'm a trained player. I mean, I'm totally trained and everything.
And that makes me wonder what your background is. How did you learn to play guitar?
Well, I started in Brooklyn, New York. I studied with a man by the name of Frank Romeo, who went to Manhattan School of Music, and then I moved up into Pennsylvania when I was in early high school, and I studied with a woman from Peabody Conservatory for about 7.5 years, and then I went to Duquesne University on 6 guitar scholarships from Fender and Martin and Guitar Society of Fine Arts, and who I'm missing in there. I won a couple women's scholarships.
Yes.
So I ended up going to guitar and bass school in Pittsburgh, at Duquesne University. So, and then, of course, touring and releasing CDs and being published, of course, adds all into that too.
Of
So,
course. And can you tell us a little bit about your own approach to teaching when a student comes to you? Well, I have another question first. What levels do you teach? Do you teach all levels of guitar?
yes, beginner to pro to master, absolutely.
Great.
Yep.
And when a student comes to you, whether it's a beginner or someone who's played some before, what is your approach to teaching that person guitar?
I basically put together a curriculum that suits their needs. I don't work somebody in like one book and do
Right.
page by page. That tends to bore people for one thing.
It does.
But I put together their own curriculum in a binder, and then we work through materials I've written, materials from other different authors. I work a lot with the internet, and I use some DVD material. I do a lot of ear training,
Yeah.
a lot of improv.
Well, that sounds great. And do you also do you write your own songs, and do you teach those songs to your students?
Some of them I do. There's been a few that I've taught of my own, and I've written. I have probably like 34 or 35 songs, 22 which have been published.
Okay, and I know you have a guitar there with you. Could you play a little bit of a song that you'd like to play, maybe one of your own songs, so that people can get a little taste of your guitar playing?
Sure. This is one I wrote. It's on my Generation CD. It's called Bay Ridge Blues Jam, where I grew up in Brooklyn.
Bay Ridge being the neighborhood in Brooklyn where you grew
Right.
up.
I grew
Okay.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, let's hear a little bit. Maybe before you start playing, can you move back a little bit more just so we can see your hands? Yeah, that's good. It's a little hard to see the right hand, but the left hand is clear. So I'd say just go with that. And there we have it, Bay Ridge Blues Jam by Maria Wilson. Thank you, Maria. That was great.
Thank you.
And is that
Thanks for having me.
did you say that that was one of the songs that you would teach your students?
Yeah. Yeah. That is when I do teach. Yes.
That's wonderful. So
Yes.
the students in the Harrisburg area get a little bit of that Bay Ridge feeling brought to them.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, that's great. And I was thinking as you were playing that you mentioned that you're very into kind of a percussive style of guitar playing, and that song certainly has that. Do you find a lot of the songs you write have that type of feel where it's chords, but it's also a very kind of rhythmic and percussive style of playing?
Yeah, I mean, I do like a combination of a lot of that, like very similar to like Andy McKee, Tommy Emmanuel, Michael Hedges, and then I cross over with finger styles, a lot of my compositions.
Got it. So it goes back and forth between that very rhythmic style and kind of a softer finger
Finger
style
style,
sound.
right. Yep. Yep. I'm very heavily influenced by Michael Hedges, Tommy Emmanuel, Jimmy Page. Those are my three big influences.
Those are three big names,
Yeah.
three great influences to have.
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about your lessons? How long are your lessons? One question, and how often do you meet with students?
Most of my students come for a half hour every week. And then I have some that come for an hour every other week who have been with me a while,
Yeah,
who are more like intermediate and advanced, as far as that goes. Then I have a couple people who do 45-minute lessons, mixed in there too. But, most people take half-hour lessons.
and the people who do 45-minute lessons, do you see them once a week?
Every other week.
Every other week. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And what are your fees, Maria?
Each place is different where I
Of
teach.
course.
As far as that goes, here in my home studio, it's $85 a month, and that's for 4 half-hour lessons.
Got it.
If you go down to State Street Academy of Music in downtown Harrisburg, they do it on a semester schedule, where you pay by the semester. And I'm not sure what it is because it changes from semester to semester because it's a school. I mean, it's a great place. It's amazing.
Right.
So that's, there. And then Trez Music Education Center, they charge $100 a month for 4 half-hour lessons on the West Shore. West Shore is a little bit more upscale.
Got it. And when students come to you, certainly a beginning student would be looking for a guitar, and more advanced students would be looking for new guitars at some point. Do you help your students select new guitars? Do you give them guidance about that?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
So you can point them in the direction of which store to go to and kind of a price range and what
Range, yeah.
brands to look for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's wonderful, Maria. We're going to be concluding the interview in a second, but it's great to learn more about your guitar teaching and what you're doing there in the Harrisburg, Pennsylvania area.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me, too.
It's a pleasure talking to you, and we look forward to seeing you on Find a Guitar Teacher very soon. Hope you have a good day.
Hey, you too. Thank you so much, James.